It's truly a blessing to view.
Yeah, I mean, if you bring up the graphic with the history of 720 Polyshot, like his placement here, guaranteed a fifth, or he has a fifth placed finish, is far and away so much better than his most recent couple of placements. Like this has been an amazing run for 720 Polyshot. That game 1 victory over Aknow cannot be discounted. He looked incredibly strong, but unfortunately his run does stop here. We are going to now move up into the winner's bracket, where we will be catching Pavelski versus Simple. Pavelski had that hot upset over Aknow, knocking him down into the lower bracket. Can he get a second upset in a row and beat out Simple here in the winner's final? We'll find out in just a little bit as we're getting into game 1 of Pavelski versus Simple.
Now, a win here for Pavelski wouldn't necessarily be the biggest upset of all time. Like, PR-wise, we're talking PR4 compared to Simple's PR3. So it wouldn't, I would say Aknow was the really big upset. I wouldn't even necessarily consider this too big of an upset. Pavelski's Jae-Yun, man, is better than I would have expected and more consistent deeper in the bracket than I would have expected. I definitely underestimated his Jae-Yun going into this.
Yeah, I absolutely, like, when I think you're the one who told me that he was going to be coming in with the Jae-Yun, I was kind of disappointed, not just because he's not playing the Taros that I love to see, but just because it's something that I haven't seen from Pavelski. It wasn't the Lucian, it wasn't the Taros, but man, he's looking so clean with the Greatsword as he gets the pickup. Doesn't quite catch the dodge read, but he's still put out some good damage. Simple with the downlight side air, though. Could get the knockout soon.
Nice.
Yep.
Now, we talked about how clean Aknow was playing earlier. I think Simple is possibly right up there in terms of cleanest players that EU has ever seen. Definitely in recent memory. Simple is a very technical player. His executions are tight, and I think he has a real chance. Even though he did just fall there, he has a real chance to go over Pavelski here. I would even favor him in this.
Yeah, I would definitely argue that this match is Simple favored for sure. Of course, just like in terms of raw numbers, Simple with the PR favoritism, but Pavelski looking really good. Simple able to fight back up onto the stage. Doesn't quite catch the dodge read. Pavelski can juggle for a moment just to prime a second greatsword. Simple gets in, but instead jumps away with a down air, expecting Pavelski to react. Yo. Didn't hit the side air. Oh, the side sig almost leads to the knockout. Pavelski gonna go for the dirtier greatsword, more likely to break.
Simple's going to be over onto the sword here against Pavelski's greatsword. Has the health disadvantage here, fighting into Pavelski. Pavelski's just going to straight back up.
Raw.
He straight up looked like the players that everybody complains about playing up against in ranked, as he just walks away, and then you throw out a move and he sigs and kills you.
He just punishes you, because I think usually when you're making that forward approach, you expect the other person to react, but Pavelski's like, nah, you're going to miss, and I'm just going to raw end sig in your face. Pavelski needs to widen this gap, though. Simple could get this knockout soon. We see him looking for those hits, looking for those recoveries as Pavelski.
Nice.
Not by the weapon toss, yeah.
That's that cleanliness that I'm talking about that Simple is able to throw out. That was a really good string from Pavelski, though. You saw him start it off with the dash D-Light. We've seen a lot, primarily sidelight initiations from several greatsword players here. I'm glad to see Pavelski using the dash D-Light to give you basically half of the stage here on Demon Island. If you go to somewhere like Brawlhalla, you're covering 2/3 of the stage.
Yeah, that dash D-Light has a lot of range on it, but it can be a little bit riskier, right? A little bit more recovery frames in comparison to the side light. Pavelski gets the 3, puts Simple off stage, but Simple with the weapon tosses. Side sig gets punished by Simple, and that's the stock. Simple takes game number 1.
Let's go. Oh, man, this set's going to be really good. This is going to be a fun set to watch. EU is bringing it in the end of this bracket here. I'm glad they're continuing the really good sets that we've seen today.
Yeah, this is, like you said, some really good Brawlhalla. And where else would you expect it but here at BCX in EU, of course. But here we're going into game number 2. Pavelski versus Simple. Simple with a nice start, getting the unarmed damage onto Pavelski.
Finding some weapon damage too, even grabbing the second weapon. Already has Pavelski in the yellow. We're only about 10 seconds into the game, and that's 50 plus damage. 1 or 2 more hits, Pavelski's going to be in the orange. Weapon toss goes in. See Pavelski continuing to back up. Oh, whiffs the D-Light and still gets another D-Light out.
Dare weapon toss comes out from Pavelski. Off stage in the gray. Does get the wall touch just barely, and he's still fighting it out against Simple. Outspaces the side signature, going to get the regular sword punish.
Oh man, that recovery has Pavelski already in the red. Still is able to pick up that greatsword. The recovery takes him off the top. Simple getting a 47-second KO and having a giant lead onto Pavelski.
He's really starting to run away with this one. Again, though, it's greatsword coming out from Pavelski. A good dodge read or two. Good lead to the knockout, and there it is already. One dodge read is all he needed, and he went for the sidelight finisher. It's something Flambeau was talking about earlier, going for the sidelight finisher over the neutral light finisher because it's got more horizontal range, or force.
And that soft platform from Mammoth Fortress was helping him out, allowing him to extend that string past the normal stage onto that platform to get him over. If that platform wasn't there, he wouldn't have really been able to continue that further. You would have seen him maybe go for the ground pound deep in the push-off column or the side air deep in the push-off column that he was doing previously.
And this is suddenly swung in Pavelski's favor. Oh! What? Last time he did that, he did a weapon toss into a side air. This time he mixes it up, goes for a GC side light finisher, and Pavelski is stealing stocks from Simple.
Seeing all those moves coming out, Pavelski has a ton of pressure onto Simple right now. Definitely overwhelming him with all of the moves that he's throwing out. There's 3. Oh, and the weapon toss. That is going to be a rough game from Simple that he's going to want to wash his hands of. Less than 300 damage from him, but all it took from Pavelski was 388 damage.
That's so insane how low that damage was. Like, it didn't feel like it was one of those like super gimp heavy games, but it's going to be Simple being forced off of the Jaeyun over to the Taros for game number 3. This is something that I talked to you about in DMs, is that fear that if Simple loses in the Jaeyun mirror, I was expecting Aknow in this matchup, but if he loses game 1, he's going to immediately make the swap, and that's kind of what we're seeing here, is he lost 1 game in the Jaeyun mirror, and he's like, all right, over to the Taros.
So the crazy thing with the damage last game of 388 compared to 291 is Pavelski only put out 97 more damage, and yet he took 2 more stocks than Simple was able to. So with that short little amount of damage in that very short game, Pavelski completely demolished Simple's Jaeyun.
I told you, he is a thief in the night. He was stealing stocks, but stealing the weapon away from Simple, going over to the greatsword as Simple looking for the weapon spawn. It's going to be on the soft platform. Pavelski able to punish the pickup and utilizing the soft platform for the end sig at a higher height. This is the side sig.
Oh no! This is looking tough for Simple. He's not able to get in on greatsword at all that Pavelski's using. That's something he struggled with against Aknow previously in Mammoth Cup.
Into the offstage though, Pavelski really taking his time here, did not connect with the recovery and misses the weapon toss, so Simple able to get some good damage here. Could see the knockout soon with this hammer. Stop side air off that soft platform.
You know he wanted that recovery to hit on the bottom side and send down.
Stomp side air over to the left side, still not enough.
There you go. You mentioned that classic. Oh, he gets the D-Sync for the kill, but you mentioned the classic hammer recovery edge guard earlier, and you said Simple does it. He just tried to do it right there.
So what we're expecting from this hammer play. But he's able to even up the stock count. Pavelski doesn't have the greatsword, that blender tool, to get so much quick damage. And Simple's going to jump over the pocket sand, still getting more damage with this hammer.
Ooh. still able to pick up with that recovery. So Simple, when he plays up against Greatsword, he has to be very careful when he chooses to go in and punish. But when he's playing against Pavelski's sword, he has a little bit more leeway on the pressure he wants to exert. He can be a little bit more overwhelming there. He can push it a little bit harder than he does when he's playing against the Greatsword. The recovery almost knocking out off the top. Simple now dead even, but the GC sidelight seems to be a favorite of Pavelski, and he gets the KO off the bottom.
The down signature. We've seen him pivot that down signature on the corner time and time again. That's the first time he actually held it and slide charged it to get the stock. Still in the red, though. Simple still has the opportunity to even this up. Got a soft hit on the axe recovery, though.
Oh, weapon spawn's going to come in right on top of Pavelski. He's going to pick up his sword, throw it away, grab the greatsword. Another weapon spawn comes in all the way on the left, but he's able to grab a hammer here. Almost picks up the side air, but Pavelski was right below him.
Side air. That will even it up. The juggle. Looks like Simple wants to lean more onto this hammer for this matchup.
Oh, nice three-piece. Goes for the stomp. Oh! The GC sidelight again from Pavelski.
Wake up. Three-piece into the side finisher. Not quite enough damage to send Simple flying too far. Opportunity here. Simple does not find the recovery hit. Pavelski, he just keeps canceling. Side cancel, turn. He is just putting so much hitbox.
Oh no.
Underneath.
Oh! And again, swapping back over to the Greatsword. Simple finds a falling neutral air. That Greatsword was so damaged that it ended up being taken away from Pavelski. GC D-Light!
This is Pavelski playing with his food a little bit. He's going for some nutty options, and it's the down finisher off the GC, and Pavelski gets it to swing backwards to lead to the knockout, and he retaunts as well. Man, Pavelski, like he's having fun.
That was so close, too. That side air probably would have KO'd. We're going to get to see the replay here. Oh, he spot dodged it, and that got through the side air, and out came the D-Light. That is that down finisher from Greatsword. That is a rough spot to be in. Simple almost taking that game. He's going to stay with the Taros here. He's not going to get first weapon, and first weapon is going to be a Greatsword for Pavelski. It's not what he wants. Out comes the stomp sidelight. Doesn't find the neutral light, or at least the first hit of it. The second hit of it does clash out.
Pavelski is swinging. He's shown the speed of his high-power blender. Over to the sword now. You saw that kind of awkward dodge. I think he was trying to do a down signature, like either slide charge it or a GC. Just didn't quite get the input, but he's still getting good damage. Has the juggles, and Simple disarms himself with that hammer toss.
Little sidelight's going to put Pavelski over onto the wall. The spawn comes in. He's able to grab the axe. Whoa! Oh, doesn't quite have enough active frames to get the KO on that recovery. Pavelski with the strange wake-up options. Oh, no. It's like he turned that recovery around, and that stopped him from picking it up. The neutral sit comes out from Pavelski, and he gets the first KO.
Oh, but Simple immediate response. Stott gets the side heavy. Gonna just throw away the axe. He wants to play this hammer. And it's not even like he's going for anything like Taros Sig heavy. He got like a down sig to knock out, but for the most part, it's just like hammer with Taros' stat line.
And Pavelski, in like true Kosalik style, is able to almost guarantee this greatsword any time he wants. It's like I'm not able to keep track of it. Like every time he picks up a new weapon, I'm like, again? He has another greatsword again? Where's the sword? I swear I haven't seen it at all.
He's so quick about it. What? Does get stuck on this one. Still able to pick up the greatsword. Simple in the offstage, but the recovery from Pavelski going to get him back up onto the stage where the Vortex can continue onto Simple. Punish.
Oh, God. Simple. What are you going for there, dog? You got to be more careful.
A little bit of farm betting there, but Pavelski able to pick up the clean greatsword, and again, back into it. You see the way he's able to just completely dash, pivot, turn around, keep canceling and keeping this pressure going. Goes in unarmed onto a hammer. He's insane! The madman! And Simple can't get back!
No. That is going to be the set. Pavelski is going to take it. That is insane. Pavelski keeping this run up. He's moving on into grand finals. Guaranteed top 2 from Pavelski. And Simple is going down into the losers bracket.
I'm going to be real. A little bit fanboy right now. I didn't want to put Pavelski in my top 2 because it's Pavelski and he is the most volatile player out there. But oh my goodness, Pavelski looking so incredibly good. He's guaranteed a top 2 finish like you said. And I don't know who's going to be able to stop him from running it and getting the World Championship title for EU. Is it going to be Blue? Is it going to be Aknow? Or is it going to be the salty run back? We'll find out as we are now here in the losers semifinal with Blue and Aknow.
Now we're seeing Aknow move into this, continuing with the Koji. I think they did a little bit of the gentleman's agreement of saying, if you don't play Greatsword, I will not play Greatsword. And we're seeing a Bodvar into a Koji for Blue versus Aknow here in the losers semifinals.
This is like a relatively classic match. We've seen both of these players dominate the European region in their respective years, and we've seen them run up into each other in grand finals of multiple tournaments, and depending on the year determines who will win. But here we are in the losers semifinal, a match we've seen time and time again, but here on the World Championship stage, they are going to be bringing out all of the stops.
We're going to Apocalypse. Aknow is going to control the early weapons of the game, but Blue is eventually able to grab one about 13 seconds into the game. But a lot of damage has been done by Aknow onto Blue. Oh, that was a cheeky weapon toss.
Still picks it
up
up
for the bounce up. Oh, 25 second stock for Aknow.
What an edge guard, and it wasn't one of those brutal, consistent dare-hitting edge guards. It's just like, I'm going to chip away all your options, and you're not going to get to touch. Aknow already about to lap Blue, but Blue going to try to go for the response, backs away off of that ground pound.
Yeah, that little side air that Aknow bounced Blue off of the wall with, and the weapon toss before that. Like, what an unorthodox edge guard overall from Aknow onto that. You're seeing Blue is looking to make some big plays. You're seeing the D6 come out.
Nice.
That's what I like to see from a Bodvar player. Let's see if he can continue using those. There's the recovery. Weapon toss goes wide instead of straight down. Aknow even dipped under the stage, but Blue is there for the GC D-Light into the ground pound.
I like the way Aknow played that recovery, going underneath the stage, trying to basically guarantee that no weapon is going to deny him that wall touch. But Blue playing really smart around that corner, waiting for the GC, downlight into the ground pound. Neither of them really swinging just yet. Classic EU sword mirror match as Aknow goes over to the bow, doesn't hit the ground pound. It's going to be the tatami mat to take the second stock off of Blue.
Now, I do applaud Blue's immediate answer back of being able to take the first stock from Aknow, because if you look at something like Mammoth Cup, Blue ended up coming in 13th place. Before that, on Championship, coming in 7th place. So 2 kind of rough placements for a player like Blue here recently, but he has already beaten that this tournament in the World Championship, and he's looking pretty good, except he's behind Aknow. Now, doesn't fall into the side signature. Aknow's done that against many a player, but it's starting to not work anymore.
Yeah, I got to believe that all these players are just watching the tournament at this point, watching what their potential future opponents are doing so they can start reacting to them in advance. And that's what happened there, is Blue kind of recognized that Aknow likes to do that side light into the charge side signature and just stayed high above that side light.
Sword be sword, the D-Light recovery is going to be an easy punish on Aknow's whiff side sig. Goes for the stomp dare, somehow barely ends up picking it up. It was like the front side of it, when we usually see it picking up from the back side for the KO off the top. Blue has to play near flawlessly, and he has to do it into Aknow's bow. A very tall order.
Aknow chase dodging forward, ends up picking up a nair, second nair. Blue gonna get juggled away, goes for the wall. A little bit safer from those nairs from Aknow.
Recovery off the top is going to give Aknow the victory in game 1.
Really solid finish from Aknow coming out. There you're seeing that that original edge guard. It was a really explosive start to this game that really started to slow down towards that tail end where they started to play a little bit more safer. Like there's that key moment where they were both playing their swords and they're both on opposite ends of the map. Like, all right, I'm not gonna cross this divide. But looks like Blue thinking a little bit about what this legend pick's gonna be. The Bodvar, this was kind of his anchor pick, did not quite work.
He's going to swap over to the Bryn. Now, we did ask him what are some of the other characters he's played this year. He didn't really mention the Bryn, though he does have a level 54 Bryn going in with the default stance. He does have a skin for her, and he does have Gala colors on her. So he definitely has some time in this Bryn. But it's not, or at least from my memory, not a standard Blue tournament pick.
Yeah, definitely, like, not something that we would consistently see him picking. Might see it as a counter pick, but Aknow already starting it off unarmed, doesn't even care that Blue got the initial weapon pickup, was looking for that unarmed gimp, gets a downlight and then backs away. Interesting, not going for any of the true combo follow-ups that you can do off of a downlight.
Yeah, D-Light into nothing, taking a page out of Lil Cap's book. D-Light into Nair, though. Aknow's finding those follow-ups now. Goes for the slide charge side signature. Blue was ready for it. That ground pound would have hit, would have led to the KO as well. The weapon toss. And Aknow was going to turn that stock around just like he did earlier against 720 Polyshot on the Demon Island.
Got him with the Goomba stomp just right on his head when he activates that ground pound. Blue looking for the immediate response, goes for the downlight GC N-Sig, but does not find the hit. Spot dodge from Aknow to avoid the side sig as Blue swinging for the fences, trying to get the stock evener.
Now we're starting to see Aknow kind of play a little cheekier going into this game. Oh, D-Light recovery, not quite enough to take off the top. Weapon throw down, and he's able to pick it back up immediately once he realizes it's not going to hit Blue. Has Blue over on the wall. Another dare, and the weapon toss. Taking yet another stock from Blue. These weapon toss edge guards from Aknow are so good.
Dude, Aknow steals stocks so stealthily. Like, we saw those big offstage plays from Pavelski where you just see him just chip stocks away in the air. But Aknow, like, is just doing a drive-by, grabs it, and puts it in his pocket, stealth stock stealing.
GC D-Light right out of hit stun. Goes for yet another recovery. He's definitely saucing on Blue as we get further and further into this set. Blue's got to be careful, bro. I would not spend any time on that wall against Aknow.
Got to fight his way back onto the stage, though. Aknow keeping him on this corner. Recovery will get him back down onto ground, but he is a full stock behind here in game number 2.
Weapon toss has Aknow in the red. Blue has a good chance to take the second stock. Oh, but Aknow basically chasing behind him. Rides that side heavy. The weak recovery there. The held ground pound is going to release and spike Aknow directly down. Blue on his final stock. Another case where the player basically has to play flawlessly against Aknow. Not even just flawlessly, but Aknow has to make serious mistakes. And you're not going to catch Aknow making mistakes.
He's made one mistake in his life ever. He's not going to make another here as we are going into game number 3. Aknow wanting to make the sprint, wanting to get that run, because you gotta believe coming into this, coming in as the top seed, having only lost one tournament throughout the entirety of 2020, then Aknow thought that this was all but his tournament to lose. What is Blue gonna make the switch to? We see him hovering a little bit, not picking anything just yet.
Is he going to go back to the Jae-Yun? The thing that he has to worry about is if he picks the Jae-Yun. I mean, he has the second pick opportunity here. So Aknow's already locked in the Koji. And he's going to ignore the gentleman's agreement that came out. He is going to play Jae-Yun. And Aknow does not have the option to pick Jae-Yun because he had to lock in first.
But Aknow's currently up 2-0. If Blue wins this one, Aknow has the opportunity to change up to the Jae-Yun if he wants to do the mirror match for the next 2 games. But for now, I don't even think Aknow will do that if Blue wins. Because like I said, I think Aknow just wants to play this Koji into the Jae-Yuns. Like, this is playing into Aknow's hands.
Is it?
Yes.
I feel like someone playing Greatsword against you is playing into nobody's hands. Because then it's just going to be a rough time. Like, he's beating him against normal characters. Like, he can still probably beat the Greatsword as well, but I don't think anybody wants to play into Greatsword.
Yo, low-key though, like, I thought if he got that bow ground pound, then my, like, very confident yes would have sounded so clean, but,
It really would have. It would have been so good.
It would have been so solid, but Aknow really let me down on that one. In the red, though, he's gonna lose the first stock. Blue looking good, and it wasn't even Greatsword. This is Blue just playing classic Blue sword.
You see the chain dodge coming out from Aknow. Moving along those 90-degree angles, and he hits the side signature on the edge yet again.
He is so good at hitting that side signature, slide charging it over the corner.
Ooh, going for the GC sidelight. That's going to give him some good movement.
No. Blue's gone. Oh, Blue's gone.
He didn't touch, did he?
No.
Okay.
That neutral sig was super close, and you'll see it touch on some other maps, but I think with the angles, it can be hard to guarantee the touch.
I couldn't tell if I saw his character like relight up or not.
Aknow completely denied it, but full stock advantage to Aknow. Going in a little over-eager with that ground pound. It's one of the slower moving ground pounds in the game, and Blue had a pretty safe punish, but instead opted to be onto the stage.
Seeing this game start to wind down, and that means the set is likely also winding down here. Blue doing everything he can to fight back in this game, has the weapon advantage. Sig's coming out, KO moves coming out from Blue. Isn't able to punish that D-Sig from Aknow. Gets the recovery way down low, and it's not quite enough to KO off the top. You saw the exhausted recovery coming out there. Side signature just charged a little bit, and Aknow is going to move on, only doing 4 more damage than Blue, but took 2 more stops.
Like, that side sig at the very end where he charged it before the second hit, still keeping him in hit stun, but getting that just tiny bit of extra force is so incredibly extra. Like, Aknow did not need to do that. This set was basically his. This game was basically his off that bow edge guard, but that's just Aknow being like, yo, I'm super good at this game. And that means Aknow is now going to go up against Simple in the losers final, the match that you and I predicted to be the grand finals, the winners finals of this tournament.
And we'll see what Simple has in store. He is here in the lobby. He is locked in. I was wondering if he was going to start with the Jae-Yun. He is, and Aknow is going to continue using the Koji. We do see Simple dipping just a second from the lobby. We'll see what happens. Maybe he needs a restart or something else. But Aknow's ready to go, has the Koji ready. It's been warmed up. It's been taking stocks. It's been looking real good. It's been looking like an Aknow Koji. Man, that character is tough to punish.
It is so good. I mean, that high dexterity means that it's going to have very safe moves just kind of inherently with how that dexterity stat works. But then you just couple it with Koji, you can get away with throwing out these signatures and then protecting yourself, right? With Sword, you just throw out a neutral line after you whiff a side signature, and it's very hard to punish. At the same time, like, he was throwing out these side sigs, and the most people were doing was like they'd hit him with a down air, and he's like, all right, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna just go back in. Then he has insane offstage as well. Like, Aknow is winning in so many different ways with this Koji. My question to you is, do you think if Simple loses game 1 with the Jae-Yun, he's gonna make the swap over to the Teros, or if he's gonna be like, well, my swap was specifically for if I'm losing the Jae-Yun mirror, I don't know what to do now.
I think he'll swap, for sure. I think he'll definitely swap. I don't think he'll swap as late as he did against Pavelski, unless it's like, ooh, it's so close, or like maybe one of his stocks got completely robbed, and it's something that like Aknow can't rely on going further. So in Simple's mind, like, oh, that just won't happen again, and I'll easily take the round.
Yeah, I gotta believe. I think he will swap if he gets a stock robbed, because if he loses an off-stage engagement, I think he's gonna immediately think to himself, I could have won that if I had a hammer. If I had the hammer recovery, I could have done that. And I think that's where we'll see Simple make the swap if he loses a game against Aknow. But here we are in the losers final, Aknow versus Simple. Man, this is gonna be an insane set.
Somebody call Beyonce, because we're on Demon time here on the Demon Island in Losers Finals. Who'da thunk that Aknow versus Simple would be happening in Losers Finals, or that Aknow would open up with a GC Insig that raw early in the game?
Yeah, you're going to have to explain that Beyonce reference.
In the Savage remix with Megan Thee Stallion, she says, on my demon time, I might start an OnlyFans.
Oh.
Come on, man. Even so far here. Oh. Simple. Something big. A big opening for Simple. He was starting off taking a lot of damage early on in the game. The side signature is not going to be interrupted with a move, but it's going to be interrupted with a weapon toss from Simple. You see him backing up. Nice little two-piece there. Expects the really high recovery from Aknow. Charging up the Insig, the D-Light recovery from Aknow. Unarmed is not going to be enough, but there comes the sword recovery to help him out to get the KO off the top. Aknow is just a little bit behind.
Yeah, but he does have this bow in hand, and Simple, stuck on that wall, was struggling to get back up, but he did fight his way back in, got the greatsword pickup, and you see Aknow, when Simple has the greatsword, he's going to play a little bit further back, try to utilize that bow downlight to his advantage.
It's a nice dare. He didn't hit the grounded version, so you don't see the inlight coming out, or maybe the more cheeky option charging up that Insig. But he still definitely does have this lead. You see the side light into the down air. Oh, it's the side sig on the corner, and the down air. Simple stock is done. Another orange KO for Aknow.
And he's so good at just hitting these pinpoint accurate bow shots. Just enough to deny those wall touches, but Simple gonna get the haymaker, keep this one even, going into the final stocks here in game number 1.
Ooh, he's expecting the D-Light. So Aknow's giving Simple space, and Simple's giving Aknow space. Nice string. Goes for the recovery. Just a little bit too far to the right. Aknow is deep enough in the push-off column.
Dodge.
Even that high. Almost with the orange KO there. Reaching down with the down air. Doesn't quite have the range that he needed. Aknow was playing just a little bit too low. There's the side light. Goes for the continued string in that direction, but Aknow ended up going through him. Sig's coming out. Simple wants the KO. Hits the side light into the neutral signature. Getting the KO. Simple takes game 1. I'm willing to bet we don't see a swap. At least from Simple, that is.
Not on win. Not on win for sure. But we are seeing a swap come out from Aknow. Sticking with the bow game, but he's going to be going over to the Diana for game number 2.
Is Aknow done with the Jae-Yun?
I guess so.
Like, he got... Did Pavelski beat the Jae-Yun out of Aknow? Man!
Pavelski was enough for Aknow to be like, you know what, I'm not feeling these Jae-Yun mirror matches, or maybe play into the fans a little bit, wants to be that outlier, the Bulgarian not on the Jae-Yun. But here we are in game number 2. Can't punish, doesn't hit the downlight. Simple able to jump in time, and he's starting to get the juggles.
Yo, big lead here for Simple early into this game. Playing Diana, something we're going to see several players play tomorrow in North America, but he's one of the few that we've seen in EU today. D-Light into the neutral signature. Love to see it. Somehow that picked up. I cannot believe.
Oh, but Simple still retaining enough movement. He did get the wall touch before that ground pound hit. He was able to make the full rotate over to the right side. Still staying alive. Doesn't have the weapon pickup. The damage is evened up.
Dash is coming out from Aknow. The weapon toss came out, hit Simple, but he was still able to get over to the weapon. Dodges right through the GC inlight. Ooh, Simple dipping really low.
Weapon toss off the weapon toss into a GC downlight into the recovery. Aknow going to take the first stock.
Simple backing up all the way to the left side. The weapon spawn is actually going to go over there as well. Immediately gets the recovery for the KO off the top. And he's going to swap back over to the greatsword. Now, Aknow being on this Diana here, maybe he doesn't want, like, the Twitter hate from everybody out there who's hating on greatsword right now. If Aknow wins, everybody loves him, like, that much more. If Aknow loses, everybody also loves him because he didn't play greatsword in the end.
That's what I'm saying, man. Pandering to the fans a little bit, pandering to the audience, pandering to chat. But right now, He's doing work with this. It's definitely not just pure pandering, as he is still doing really well with his Diana standing still, and Simple was expecting the reaction.
Oh! Simple dodged the side sig. I didn't even think that was possible.
Perfect spot dodge from Simple to avoid it. Aknow throws out the ground pound. Clean punish from Simple, and he's got Aknow down to his final stock here in game number 2. Can he take it over Aknow? Take this one to game number 3 with a 2-0 lead.
So we've seen 2 non-Jaehyun picks from Aknow. Let's just forecast the loss here for Aknow. Of course, it's not guaranteed by any means.
Ooh.
I'm loving this Diana from Aknow. Does he swap over to Greatsword?
I don't think he does. I think he just keeps playing Wheel of Bow Legends. As Simple again gonna punish Aknow, going for these wonky ground pounds. Downlight into the recovery, not even enough to put him off screen. The recovery will get the stock. Aknow, he basically needs to shove Simple off stage and just win out in the off stage with the bow again.
Aknow's bow is nice and dirty, and you know he's on that dirty Diana here, so the potential is real for the bow damage to be added up very quickly. Simple is coming in with the sword, so not quite as potent as the great sword. Aknow's adding up the damage. Simple getting deeper into the yellow. Goes for the D-Light. Simple was just jumping high enough. Now he's in the orange. Aknow has found so much damage against Simple. The great sword is in his hand now.
Goes straight neutral, 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 air, and Simple currently up 2-0 over the top seed Aknow. Can he get the upset and knock Aknow out with a 3rd place finish?
You're seeing the replays here of that last game. Aknow finding himself in a very rare spot, going down into the loser's bracket much earlier than expected. Now finding himself down 0-2 against Simple here in the losers finals, and you were exactly right in your call. It is the Wheel of Bow Legends.
It's going to be Yumiko for game number 3. Aknow on his last leg here with the Yumiko. Will it be enough as we get into game number 3? Aknow has to make the reverse 3-0 happen.
Now, we did see a Yumiko attempt earlier against a Jaehyun. It was Blue playing it, and he was playing it into Simple, and it didn't work. Blue lost both games with the Yumiko against Simple.
Right now, Aknow looking kind of awkward with this Yumiko. See him trying to throw out these down signatures. Not finding the hits just yet. Aknow catches the dodge in with the neutral signature. The recovery, Simple gonna take the first stock.
All of the Aknow fans out there are either crying or they're putting on their Simple shirt. They're Homer backing into the bushes and then coming out with a Simple shirt on.
Aknow, they get the punish, downlight into the neutral signature, not quite enough damage. Man, Simple really got that first stock basically untouched. Back to the hammer for Aknow.
Nice playing this hammer into Simple, one of the best hammer players, if not the best hammer player in EU right now. Does get the recovery interrupted there, but Simple easily gets over to the wall. Stomp side air. Jaehyun's just too thick. Oh, goes for the D-Light ground pound, but it was only the very tip. He just hit the tip and needed to hit a little bit more for that ground pound to be able to pick up. Does get the nair to get the KO off the top. He's really not too far behind.
Yeah, he got him with the toes when he needed to hit him with the ankles, but like you said, not too far behind. This is definitely doable for Aknow, but he gets caught by the pocket sand, has to fast fall to avoid the weapon toss. He's still behind.
Goes for the stomp sidelight, immediately disengages, wants to put a lot of space between him and Simple, so he doesn't eat a sidelight, doesn't eat a downlight. Oh man, Simple, he's starting to use that dash D-Light more. Covers so much space.
There's a lot of horizontal dodges from the opponents. Stomp side air's coming out from Aknow. Simple gets in with a downlight recovery. Simple's one stock away from getting that hot upset and knocking Aknow out in 3rd place.
A lot of space. You can expect that D-Light coming out from Aknow. You know that's coming. When he's backing up and sort of moving left and right like that, there you know it's coming.
So the bow. Wants the hammer for the knockout potential. Throwing out the wisps, and they're not hitting Simple. Stomp side air. Simple's off stage.
Oh, didn't get his dodge off of cooldown in time to use after that recovery. Even if he did, I don't think it would have mattered. Aknow, he's coming back in this game. We're seeing the Yumiko doing some work here, finding some damage. Gonna be that sword coming in for Simple. Almost falls into those wisps. But now you see him coming out. He's not going anywhere near them. Not gonna fall for that trap.
Stomp into fastfall in there. Aknow getting good damage. Simple with the weapon toss. Disarms himself, waiting for the great sword spawn. It's going to be right on top of him. He's got the pickup. Doesn't get the dodge. Another recovery. Simple can get it. Aknow with the nair. Another nair. Aknow can get it.
He's backing up from that wall. Doesn't want to get hit by a recovery. And he catches Simple as he moves back to the main platform. Side air for the KO. Aknow is on the board, not going to get 3-0'd by Simple. This Yumiko pick, and Twitch chat is going wild.
But that was all but a confident victory from Aknow. That was still doable for a Simple Aknow. I didn't quite catch the legend. Oh, over to the Bodvar. And I understand this. The Yumiko was pretty hammer-centric, so he's going to go to a hammer that he's more familiar with and go into this Bodvar for game number 4.
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. The hammer was looking the best between the hammer and the bow from Yumiko. You were starting to see Simple really recognizing that anytime Aknow put a lot of space between those two and had the bow in hand, the D-Light was coming. You know that's coming. So he's able to punish it more effectively. Once you just completely eliminate the ability for Aknow to close that distance, you basically take a weapon away from him. He was still finding some juggle opportunities, but he wasn't finding the signatures that we saw from a previous Yumiko player. We wasn't finding those signature follow-ups, the side signature, the neutral signature, hitting those reads.
Like you said, but here we are, game number 4, going in with the Bodvar. We'll see what he can do with this Bodvar. Of course, he'll still have that comfort of the sword, something that many players are comfortable with. Already getting pretty aggressive there with that raw ground pound on the corner. Simple able to avoid it. Wake ups.
He did the onstage dare into a D-line instead of the in-line.
That's where he got that spin out from. Simple again with these wake-ups.
You saw him go for the same direction option, then he turned it around, then he did the same direction because the other two did not hit. Just changing up those follow-ups after he hits that sidelight, choosing where he wants to cancel.
Oh. Hammer toss. One more Sair. Ooh, Aknow doesn't find the hit. Simple was stuck in the active frames of the recovery, but Aknow gonna get the down sig instead. Still not enough to finish this stock off.
He hit that D-Sig for the fans. You love to see a Bodvar hammer.
Oh, the interrupt.
Oh!
He's styling. Oh, but Simple just with a raw haymaker. Gonna shut down any momentum Aknow has. Deep red for Simple. Aknow can get the response. The Nair will do it. Sticking with the hammer. There's the weapon spawn. Already makes the rotate over. Aknow with a 3-piece off the hammer. Simple finding a response.
Oh, nice recovery and the side signature. Aknow doing work with Bodvar here. About to have a gigantic lead and he secures it.
Aknow with a massive lead, like you said. Gigantic over Simple. Simple. He's got the greatsword now, if he can get the dodge read, but Aknow is getting all these hits!
What is this?
Dodges
almost hit that side air. Perfect dodge from Aknow. Down air hit. GC in Sig. The neutral heavy from Simple is the option. Side heavy. Oh my gosh! This hammer waking up from Aknow. It was looking good with the Yumiko, and it's looking great with the Bodvar.
Aknow just an immediate reaction to a whiff from Simple. Saw his punish opportunity, just dash over, downlight into the Russian Mafia. And that is going to put us into game number 5. Aknow versus Simple. Aknow the one on the Bodvar, Simple the one on the Jae-Yun.
Simple's going to start off with a regular sword here into Aknow's hammer. Man, that hammer's looking so scary. Already 3 hits just like that. And no 2 response. More.
Went back through the drive-thru, got some extra.
Oh my
Not quite enough damage on that
gosh.
one. Simple able to dodge out, but man, Aknow's getting damage.
We'll see if Simple has an answer, if he can bring the damage back, or if he's going to end up getting KO'd. If he can interrupt this momentum that Aknow's hammer has. Stomp side air, going to be the KO option. Juggling the weapons, likely will stick on the hammer, and he does as Simple spawns back in. There is no spawn yet for Simple. He's able to grab it pretty quickly after sidelighting Aknow away. Finding some damage here. Also taking some damage here.
Simple still needs to put a little bit more damage out onto Aknow before going for the knockout. Meanwhile, Aknow getting all this extra credit on the second stock of Simple. Simple, it's looking like his matchup against Greatsword, but it's his matchup against the hammer. Like, he's struggling to get in on Aknow's hammer.
Oh, neutral signature. Going to even up the stocks, but Simple still far behind. Has over 100 damage on this second stock behind Aknow. That's side air, almost sent it off screen. Dodges through the weapon toss. He continues to go forward. Even though Aknow didn't have a weapon, he could have retreated back just a little bit to safely land.
Wanted to take advantage of the weapon advantage. Aknow waiting for the weapon spawn. Simple going to punish. Aknow trying to get that landing, but Aknow still picks up a hammer. Damage has been evened off the dodge reads from Simple.
We're in game 5 here, ladies and gentlemen. Every hit is so important for either player, because Simple can turn it into a big string on his greatsword like he's been doing all game, but Aknow has been now hitting these hammer strings as well, and he's found the KO options.
And again, looking like a repeat of the initial stocks where Aknow has that stock advantage. Simple with a down air, can't quite lead to the knockout just yet. Aknow stomp into nothing into stomp, but he's off stage, gets caught. Stocks even.
Yo, he needed that. He needed that so hard.
Last stocks, game 5. Simple versus Aknow. Aknow, who's dominated the entire year. Simple, the only person to take a tournament off of Aknow.
It's coming down to the last stock here in game 5. Dead even, exactly what you want to see from these two players here in the losers finals of the World Championships this deep in the bracket.
Who's it gonna be? Who is gonna get this last stock? Neither one of them wanting to make the mistake on the approach. Simple with the hits and the read. Simple did it! He did it!
It was looking so dire. The hammer pressure from Aknow was looking like it was too much, but Simple at the very end was able to continue the pressure up in the air, found his opening and kept going, ending it with a GC Insig to take out off the top. There you see it, the killing blow to Aknow.
Oh my goodness. At the very end there, the last 3 hits were all that Simple needed, and he is able to move into the grand finals for the salty run back against Pavelski. Now that he's coming in from the lower bracket, he has to do 2 best of 5s. Otherwise, Pavelski will be the European Brawlhalla World Champion.
So I'm curious as what. No, I think I know who people are rooting for after that, because Simple beat Aknow when Aknow was going to make the run as a pure non-greatsword player, even though he played greatsword earlier in the tournament. So he still has the greatsword stain on his record.
Mark
but now it's greatsword against greatsword. Now everybody loves Pavelski, so I think people are still going to root for Pavelski here because they're angry at Simple.
They're salty that Simple stopped the run of Aknow. I think there's a lot of emotions here, which of course is gonna happen. I am curious to see what is going to happen here with this grand final set. I think they're just waiting for the cue, the go-ahead, because it is going to be Simple versus Pavelski in the grand finals. I don't know. Does Simple need does he need a breather? Is he like?
I don't think he would want one. I think he'd want to just run straight into it. He's warmed up. He's ready to go. He wants to feed off of the energy that he has from last game. He doesn't want to cool down or nothing like that. He's ready to move into the next one, ready to go. Now, he does have esports colors on his Jaeyun, which I think is a very important piece of information and important thing to have on his side here. I don't know if Pavelski has it. I would assume that he doesn't because he's not using it.
I don't know. Pavelski, he's making the very conscious decision to come in with just the white color scheme. Like, he's above level 25, so he could theoretically have the black color scheme. He also could have had the Gala color scheme, but instead, I think Pavelski just is liking the all white, completely pristine and clean color scheme for this Jaeyun.
Is that white or is that Gala?
Because Gala has gold accents on the weapons.
Okay, it's just like the coloring of the sword doesn't seem like that would be the matching sword for the white color scheme. Like there's
I don't know, because it is the collector's sword, which has its own kind of
That's true.
Things.
Very
But here we go. Game number 1, Pavelski versus Simple. Pavelski won out in the winners final over Simple 3-1. Can he just close it out here in the grand finals and be crowned the victor for the European region?
Now, like their previous set, Simple is starting out with the Jaeyun here. He did go 2 games, one a victory and one a loss before swapping over to the Taros, and he is starting strong out of the gate, but keep in mind, he did win game 1 before against Pavelski.
Pavelski getting just the tiniest bit of damage. He didn't even complete his combo there with the downlight dare. Able to avoid that ground pound, but Simple gonna get that first stock and is basically untouched. That's like 2 sword hits of damage.
Pavelski's able to pick up a great sword, but he's also able to pick up a lot of hits that he's taking from Simple. Already even on damage on his second stock, but he's also a stock behind. Oh, man! Simple continues the pressure up. This is why he wanted to move straight into the game. No break necessary.
Simple just going in. Pavelski having to dodge out, but he gets caught on the approach. Simple getting another one. Is Simple going to start off grand finals with a 3-0 or a 3 stock?
That signature was so beautiful because he knew Pavelski was going to move forward after his initial whiff so that he could grab the weapon spawn that came in. So he reached behind him, reached under him with that signature to get the KO on a grounded opponent. What a beautiful use of that signature gravity cancel.
Pavelski trying to stop the 3 stock with the use of pocket sand, but he's getting hit.
Yo!
One more!
Yo!
3 stock for Simple to start grand finals. 126 damage put out for Pavelski. Yeah, no wonder you're going to go straight into the next game. Get that screen off.
He didn't even turn him red.
Oh my goodness, Simple.
Barely had him orange.
What was winner's final? Was that Simple just warming up? Was he still?
Yo, game 1. Game 1 syndrome here.
Uneaten.
You know how game 1s can go.
Yo, but that was a little bit of a slaughter. That was a very rough game 1. Pavelski is able to get the weapon spawn here in game 2, but still yet to touch Simple.
Now Simple is going to start off with the sword into Pavelski's great sword, but he is still winning the damage war here early on in this game. Coming up on 30 seconds in, he still has the better damage output, now has over 100, goes for the ground pound. Pavelski was deep enough in the push-off column to avoid it, didn't need to waste a dodge or a jump or anything to get away from that. Again, this is an option Pavelski is really starting to go for now, is ending with that ground pound over the edge, and the neutral signature continuing to come out, continuing to take stocks.
He is maintaining his momentum from game number 1 into game number 2. Simple looking so strong, so poised to get the immediate reset in grand finals.
Oh,
catches
he got the
dodge back, gets the recovery, Doesn't quite hit the neutral signature, but Pavelski's finding no responses.
Finding a little bit of damage here. Oh, he went for the GC option again like he was doing before. Missed the pocket sand, but still kept the pressure up and got the stock. He's not too far behind here. He is going to have a regular sword in his hand, so the string potential and the damage output is not as high. Neutral sig comes out, immediately gets punished by Simple. You saw the nair coming. There's 2 hits. Tries to chase into the sky. Oh. Somehow gets the edge of that. Hits it almost completely silent.
It was... I mean, he hit with the last frames of it to the point, like you said, no audio cue played. It was just the silent but deadly Simple. 1 stock away from taking this to game number 3. Pavelski starting to turn on the blender, though. Took him a little while to plug it in, but he's starting to get these hits.
Oh. Pavelski here to come back. In game 2 on final stock. Does have the weapon advantage. Spawn comes in. Oh, it started just low enough that Simple couldn't get to it in time. Pavelski was playing around it. Greatsword v. Greatsword. Dead even on damage. Something Simple has to worry about is those gravity cancel options from Pavelski all the way on the edge, whether it's a GC side light, a GC D light, whether it's a signature option. He has to worry about that pressure off stage. Pavelski's doing that better than like anybody else playing Greatsword right now.
He's doing really good on these edge guards, but Simple found the timing there. We saw Pavelski go for a backdash, likely was looking for either that GC down sig or the slide charge. There's up the side sig, Simple with the punish. Again, the blender is turned on. Simple getting caught, does not immediately jump into the weapon toss.
Oh, they're so even. Simple's just a little bit behind. Oh, Pavelski's in the red!
He dodged through.
Gets away from it. Oh, still holding on.
1 more. This is the neutral signature. Simple gonna find a weapon. Oh, downlight recovery. Simple gonna take it to game 3. Currently up 2-0.
Oh my God. We're on the precipice
sprint
of a reset.
What a sprint. I don't have a clock running, but they are sprinting through these games.
It is coming in at about 4 minutes and 52 seconds. That is the clock on Smash GG.
Goodness.
For the set. Now, game recognized game. I understand speed. As a world record speedrunner, one of the world's fastest gamers, I understand what it takes to go fast.
How many other people are even in that category?
Enough for me to get the gold medal.
Offstage plays. Pavelski looking better here in game number 3. Looks like it took him a little while to wake up, but he's starting to do well. Simple still doing just enough, staying ahead of Pavelski. Offstage doesn't hit the ground pound. Pavelski with the punish. Stuffed out the recovery. Didn't hit the downlight. They're just fighting it out, but nobody gets a stock.
Ooh, there's the side signature. I love that on the edge guard situation, Simple dipped under the stage. See, me, I would have dipped off of the wall and gone right into that ground pound from Pavelski, but Simple dipped under the stage to stay as safe as he could.
Pavelski hungry for this knockout. You see him going for a lot of recoveries, but it's going to be the side light dash in and sig to get the stock evener.
A little bit surprised that even KO'd.
Yeah, it was close.
Sword coming in for Simple here. He doesn't even want to land. He's staying on the soft platform. Got to be careful, though. He's getting juggled. Oh, my gosh.
In the monocle, you can't even see who's above who, but Pavelski keeps chasing Simple up there. Simple finally finds his footing and trying to get this turnaround. Ground pound whiff.
Simple, you need to chill on this second stock, my guy. Get
on
the ground! Get away from there! Stop spending so much time in the air. Pavelski just chasing him.
The chase down from Pavelski. He's got health to play with now. Getting these hits, no dodges from Simple. There it is. Here's the dodge out. Simple gets back, gets a punish.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the dodge out again.
Oh, that's bad.
He's right back in it. He's getting so much damage. The neutral sig. Pavelski going to take game number 3. Wants to stop the reset.
what an insane game after what we just saw in the previous 2 games. Thinking about the stage banning.
The plays are absolutely insane. This is absurd. Pavelski versus Simple going to game number 4. Small Mammoth Fortress.
And I can understand Simple not wanting to go back to the Dome or any other major soft platform, Matt, because while that may give a player the option to retreat to those soft platforms, that also gives Pavelski the option to go to those soft platforms to extend where his actual aerial defense starts. Rather than having to stay on the ground and expend 2 jumps to chase, he's already 2 jump heights up, which means he can chill off screen all the way up there and then go back to the platform, touch, reset his jumps, and then go right back to work.
But there is a soft platform that will sometimes be at least a jump height up. Pavelski trying to play off of it. Simple, not able to connect with the GCN Sig. Damage advantage is in favor of Simple. Catches the dodge back, but just going to get that neutral finisher. There's the end Sig to get the first stock.
That is a good lead for Simple going into this. A weapon spawn is going to come in. It is a regular sword, but Simple continuing the pressure here. That's 2 more hits on the board for him. Goes for the signature. Pavelski gets through it enough away from that signature to not get hit by those active frames.
Delight Dare into the neutral light. That is his optimum damage build with that sword. Punishing that falling down air. Pavelski going to be looking for that knockout with that neutral signature. There it is. That's going to be the knockout, but he needs to keep this greatsword. He needs to get 2 dodge reads to get this back to even.
Now that was back-to-back turnaround options off of the sidelight for Simple. And Pavelski both times did not dodge back and back through Simple. So we'll see if he goes for more of those same direction options now that he's missed 2 of those in a row.
Seeing him read that dodge in. This time Pavelski dodges out and Simple going to chase forward. Dodge down from Pavelski, looking for the double dare, but couldn't quite get the hit. Offstage, Simple's got dares of his own. Simple wanting to get this reset right here, right now. Pavelski in the offstage doesn't hit the down air, but Simple is still getting hits. He's getting damage.
Simple's in such a good spot. Not even orange yet, so the KO potential is not quite there yet. The backside of that is going to end up making contact with Simple. Yo, from the middle of the stage, that almost KO'd. If he was just a little bit closer to the right side, that would have been a KO.
He gets disarmed. Just raw, neutral heavy on stage. There's the recovery. Pavelski needs to play this stock perfectly. He wants to take this to game 5.
Next weapon for Simple is going to be a regular sword. He's able to pick it up as it spawns over the middle of the stage. He was on that soft platform. You see him looking for the D-Light. Wants the recovery, follow up. D-Light recovery, KO off the top. That is a bracket reset here.
We're going to a fresh best of 5 grand finals. One final set between Pavelski and Simple to determine who will be the European World Champion. You said it earlier, I'll say it again. This is some darn good Brawlhalla.
You love to see it. You wouldn't want it to be any other way here. After a full year of competition between these players, you gotta at least get a reset. If you don't, it would leave a sour taste in your mouth. So I'm glad we got it.
Gotta satisfy the fans. Make sure they're full, because there is so much Brawlhalla on the plate. But here we go, game number 1. After the reset, no more opportunities for either player. We're going to Demon Island, of course, the Jae-Yun Mirror.
Well, as you know, it is Demon time now that we're on the Demon Island. Shouts out to Beyonce for that one. You're absolutely correct.
I learned that recently. Pavelski picking up the greatsword. Simple still jumping around. Not able to pick up a weapon. Blender gets turned on, but Simple able to jump away. Not too much damage. Didn't get his hand caught in that blender for too long.
Oh. He actually didn't go with the ground pound there, expecting Pavelski to be high. You saw the recovery coming out. Or maybe he was just trying to dip from the situation. You know Simple doesn't want to take one of those double dares from Pavelski. He's been trying to hit him. Hasn't quite hit one on Simple, but that is going to hit in the middle of the stage. Weapon toss goes out. He actually runs away from it, gives him enough time to react and get the dodge, but the pocket sand. Shouts out Dale Gribble. Simple almost grabs the down air to get the spiking KO. There it is. Simple going up, gets the first stock in the bracket reset.
What was that neutral saying? It's just a setup for the GC downlight recovery. Pavelski able to immediately even up the stock off of the goofiest respawn decision.
Pavelski's going to get his chance at first weapon after Simple spawns, finding some damage. Simple finds an unarmed neutral light into the side light, able to pick up the weapon off of that. It's going to be a regular sword, hits the pocket sand in yellow, that then turns Pavelski orange. Yet another one, almost exactly like the one he got the stock with.
A little more pocket sand, and Simple could be going up 2 stocks to the 1 of Pavelski. Pavelski gets on stage. DC downlight, catches Simple. Again, Blunder turned on, chopping him up, evening up this damage. Simple's looking for this side sig.
Now, I'm not a great sword player, but I feel like Pavelski was going for too many turnarounds there. I think that's. I think I hear Flambeau screaming again. I'm not sure.
He doesn't go for finishers. That's like a big thing for Pavelski. Is he's just going to turn on the blender for as long as possible, and then he'll just later look for a setup into that neutral signature. On the other side, you're seeing Simple. He'll go straight into that finisher more often than not. Like he'll get one dodge read and then just go for the finisher.
Simple now just a little bit in the lead. Hits the side light. Yo, Pavelski went for the GCD light out of hit stun. I don't know if it's because Simple like waited the perfect amount of time.
That KO'd!
He was able to take that without losing a second stock. Oh my gosh.
How did that KO? Simple taking game number 1, 2 stocks to the none of Pavelski. This is looking so good for Simple.
And the kill efficiency for Simple that game, off the charts in terms of good. 168 per stock. You turn red at 150, and on a map like Demon Island with a really high ceiling, you can't be expected to kill at 150 every time. He is 18 points of damage past that, and he is finding a KO. Incredible efficiency.
Absolutely insane. Simple. He is 2 steps, 2 games from winning it out in the grand finals and being crowned the Brawlhalla World Champion. Pavelski going to try to stop it. You see him again going for these resets, going for these turnarounds, keeps trying to pivot inside. Simple, starting to figure it out, starting to get out more frequently.
Ooh, that weapon toss was almost insane from Simple. Is just a little bit too low. Pavelski burns his dodge. He didn't have anything left. That was all he had, hoping that Simple would at least fall into it and he could get the chase dodge on hit. Pavelski is going to fall first. Simple with yet another lead. Nice D-Light to recovery. Not quite enough to take off the top. Simple grabs his weapon. A D-Light recovery there for good measure. Going to get the KO. Pavelski keeping this even.
Very goofy weapon delay. Usually he goes very high and then immediately does the weapon toss, but he just charged it and fell back down to the stage, nullifying all of that movement. But he's going to connect with a side signature onto Simple. Start building up this damage onto the second stock. Wants to go game for game. Does not want to let Simple go up 2-0.
He has the damage lead here in the second stock. Nice side light. D-Light gets the third hit, turning Simple orange. Pavelski waiting a long time before he lands. You saw him even gray out. Neutral signature. Caught Simple without a weapon now. Goes for the sword ground pound. A risky move.
Pavelski wasn't even looking for a turnaround. Instead, wanted to play it safe. Throws out the down sig on stage. Simple high above it. Another recovery. A neutral signature could be the stock. Neutral sig connects. Pavelski only in the orange.
Saw him throw the sword away. Spawn comes in. Pavelski's right on top of it. Simple grabs it, but he's also going to take 2 hits. There's a third hit. Pavelski continues to look for these sidelight, in-light follow-ups.
Rush out. Pavelski goes in with a downlight. Simple with the punish. Doesn't hit the finisher, though. Pavelski gets caught by the neutral sig. Still not enough damage, though.
It would have been just a little bit closer to the left side. That would have been a KO. Pavelski still finding more damage. Simple is going to disarm himself. A spawn should be coming in soon. It's right on top of Pavelski. He's going to swipe it, go back to the Greatsword. Simple needs to find a KO. Fighting unarmed in a Greatsword is not easy to do. Takes a neutral signature floating above Pavelski right near the weapon spawn. The recovery comes in right when he needs it. He's still about 100 damage behind Pavelski.
This is still very doable. One bad dodge from Pavelski. Simple's right back in this. Pavelski does pick up a Greatsword. Simple changing up his dodges, gets caught by the side sig, puts him off screen. Trying to jump back, earning a lot of movement, but the weapon tosses. And Simple with the offstage.
He's great.
Pavelski, what was that? He's insane.
Why? Why?
He's insane.
Why?
Pavelski going to take game 2. The side signature, the madman from Bulgaria. And he gets back on stage for a regular sword recovery. He's literally crazy.
Simple just went right into it. Pavelski was gray and burned his dodge. Look, he's gray.
He's
what
crazy.
were you doing? What were you doing?
He's
not crazy. That's all he had left.
He saw the blood in the water, and Simple wanted to get the KO so badly. He knew he had to do something to guarantee it, but here we are.
Yeah,
game
do a weapon
number
toss.
3.
Just throw a weapon toss down. I don't even think you even needed that. Oh, man, that is heartbreaking. That
Heartbreaking
Simple is
for
basically
50% of the audience.
Probably
Exciting for
less
the other
than
50.
less than 50%. Simple making a critical error there. That would have given him another victory in this set, putting him up 2-0. He's going to have to fight back from that. Keep the mental strong, but Pavelski. No. Oh, my gosh.
Going to guarantee it? No, backs away. Side sig. Like you said, starting off rough for Simple in the weapon toss. Pavelski looking very healthy in game number 3.
Now Pavelski with a similar lead he had last game early on, and he's still finding little hits here and there, little bits of chip damage.
Downlight side air, Pavelski off stage. It's a burned recovery. Running out of horizontal movement, still gets back with an exhausted recovery, trying to put out a hitbox on his movement. Ooh, Simple punishing that forward movement is going to get the recovery. Take it down to second stocks here in game number 3.
Goes for the Dare D-Light as the option that's going to send Pavelski far away.
Right, Zig. Ooh, goes for the ground pound. Pavelski has not been getting caught by that. He's been playing far away on the outside, but the damage is getting done. Neutral sig misses. Second one. Still not enough to finish off the stock. Pavelski was trying to prime. Throws out more neutral signatures. That's been his primary way of finishing off stocks.
And again, a classic Pavelski, just run away and then the turnaround. This time he didn't go all the way to the left or the right side of the stage. He stopped a little bit shorter than that, but it's working. He doesn't have quite the lead, though, that he did after that first stock, but it's very close.
He's definitely finding ways to widen it. Simple, trying to change up. Knows that the ground pound's not working. Tries to go for the recovery, but Pavelski's going horizontal to get away from those.
Pavelski has quite a lead on you. Oh, man. 3 hits there.
Punish.
Simple is 1 or 2 hits away from being orange on his final stock.
Go. The side finisher launches Simple. Pavelski gets another greatsword, misses the ground pound. Simple needs to get this stock ASAP. Otherwise, this is going to be game 3 in the pocket of Pavelski. Downlight side air isn't enough. Weapon toss.
Charge that one up just to make sure. Weapon toss is going to go up. The weapon spawn comes in, but it's sort of a little bit of a weird space, so he's not able to completely deny it from Pavelski. He grabs the regular sword. Damage starting to come out. Simple here in the red. D-Light recovery. That's going to do it.
Pavelski takes game number 3. He is now 1 game away from being crowned the victor. Simple, you know he's going to be fighting for that game 5. You got to believe it's going to go down to the wire, but we're going to Small Mammoth for game number 4. Sticking with the J-Yuns. No more Taros fussing about from Simple.
We're seeing strength stance on Simple versus default stance on Pavelski. It's going to take one away from that dexterity for Simple. Spawn coming in. First weapon goes to Pavelski. It's going to be that greatsword.
Trying to turn on this blender. Still getting more neutral wins over Simple. Simple finding the basic sword. Starting to get some hits in.
His vertical punishes are looking really good. Oh, and then just damage negated. It don't matter anymore.
He's catching these dashbacks from Simple. Recovery. Needs another hit. Simple gets back down onto the ground, catches the dodge out. Who's going to take the first stock? Pavelski high enough to avoid the neutral signature.
D-Light recovery. It's going to be Pavelski grabbing the first strike.
And he's going to be sticking with the great sword. Deep red for Pavelski, and he's still moving forward. Going to be going over to the regular sword. Try to get this damage built up onto the second stock of Simple. And Simple just trying to land back down. Wants to get this weapon pickup. Hasn't even thrown out an attack. Finally does with the neutral air. A downlight recovery should be enough for Simple to even up the stock count.
He's going to have to find a way to safely hit that D-Light, though.
Missed.
You saw the jump and the dodge came out from Pavelski there, so he was way too high. Oh, man, this is looking tough. D-Light recovery finally gets the stock, but Simple continuing to find himself at the same deficit. Pavelski is holding on to these same leads. Game after game, might even make it bigger here. Gets the recovery for the KO off the top. A full stock lead for Pavelski.
One stock between Pavelski and victory in the European region. Pavelski, who has such a tumultuous history in tournaments. He has so many highs and lows. Can he do it? Simple throwing away the basic sword, wants the great sword. Pavelski going to completely deny, and he's going in with his own basic sword.
Weapon spawn coming in middle of the stage. Simple grabs it, and Pavelski throwing his sword away. In comes the spawn. It's high. Pavelski's high, and he grabs the weapon. Big damage coming out from Simple. He needs to find a KO here quickly. You know how quickly Pavelski adds up this damage.
Pavelski's finding hits. Each of these hits bringing Pavelski closer and closer to victory. Caught the dodge away. Goes for the neutral finisher to punish any jump outs. Pavelski finds a nair on his way back. Simple needs this stock so badly off of Pavelski. Can't hit the recovery.
Weapon spawn comes in. Simple grabs it, gets the recovery off the top. That lead has shrunk quite a bit, but it's still in Pavelski's favor. Where's the weapon spawn gonna come in? Right there! Pavelski has been so blessed by these weapon spawns.
RNG gods bless RNG. Downlight into a GC. N-Sig from Pavelski. One more recovery, and Pavelski the nair! And Pavelski is going to be the European Brawlhalla World Champion!
He did it. This is a historic day for Pavelski and all those who have believed in him along the way.
He did it. The absolute madman Pavelski winning it out, upsetting in the winners semifinal over Aknow, upsetting in the winners final over Simple, and then upsetting in the grand finals to be crowned the champion. Coming in with the JN, putting in the time, putting in the effort, learning this legend, coming in level 31 and beating out Simple. Oh my goodness.
It's something a lot of people have been wanting for a very long time. Is this Pavelski's first singles win? I think it might be. Let's see. Pavelski. No, he has one.